Yeah,
That's
I
my
agree.
that's my analysis of this game. Like, what the hell was that? Like, listen, the Heat deserved to lose that game. We can talk about the refs all we want. Like, the refs sucked as always. They were trash. But the Heat deserved to lose this game. There was like no energy. There was just like no sense of urgency from these guys. From the second quarter on, it's like in the fourth quarter, it's like all of a sudden they came to life. Jimmy started driving to the basket. Duncan started hitting threes. Like, you play with fire for this long in the NBA playoffs, you're going to get burned. And tonight, the Heat got absolutely burned by their habits that they've built up during these playoffs, right? Now someone wrote in Jimmy is a fraud. Like, you guys really got to stop this. Like, you like, you guys really got to, like, you guys got to grow up and watch and just like understand the ebbs and flows of basketball. But yeah, Manny, come on. Jimmy's a fraud. Like, listen, they're in the Eastern Conference Finals. They're 10-2 this postseason, right? I mean, they cut a 20-point lead down to 5. And like I said, the refs jobbed them, but at the same time, this is on them. Like, they gave the refs an opportunity to take the game from them. Bam was awesome. Tyler was amazing in the first half. He kept them in it. But the things that really hurt them tonight are the fact that they didn't get much from. Yes, my shirt didn't work today. I have not said this publicly, but my bubble, this shirt that I've been wearing, I've worn this for every Heat win. Or every time I've worn this, the Heat won, and they lost tonight, so I can finally wash it and not have to wear it anymore. What's going on, Brady?
What's going on, man?
Listen, when I look at this game, I want to blame Jimmy for not being aggressive early, right? But when I look at this game, I say the bench outside of Tyler Herro did not show up at all.
Yep.
At all. Nobody gave them anything off the bench. Jay Crowder came down to earth all of a sudden, right? Jay Crowder was 2 for 10 tonight. Okay. Bam Adebayo played his ass off, but Bam was 27-16. 3 steals, 2 blocks. Goran didn't show up tonight, and Goran has been their savior all season, ever since the bubble started. A lot of things happened tonight that just haven't been happening all series. Like, I'm not going to give it to the Celtics defense. I'm not going to give it to Gordon Hayward. I'm going to just say that the guys did not show up tonight. What did you see?
Yeah, well, they shot like 29% from 3, so that's one. And obviously, you mentioned Jay Crowder. That was a big part. I think he shot 2 for 9 from 3.
2 for 10 from 3.
2 for 10.
Yeah.
And then you mentioned Goran. I just think they rely on Goran to be that guy because they don't show up in that first half a lot of games. And they rely on Goran to be the guy that's just going to just slowly edge them closer and closer and keep them close. Then second half, they can explode. And this was finally the game where Goran he just can't be the guy that's just continually looked upon to do that. And he just, that wasn't this wasn't his game.
He was a -29 tonight, and nobody else was even close. The next closest was a -10 from Kelly. Nobody was as bad as Goran Dragic was tonight.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest part because he's always just like the first half guy that just keeps them going, and even in the second half he closes for them. He's just a big part. But you mentioned the bench. That's a big part. What I kind of took from this, their biggest advantage on this Heat team is that their bench. They have a big bench advantage especially against this Boston team. They always look to kind of have that spark off the bench that they can get some scoring defense with Iguodala and Derek Jones. But that wasn't the case. I mentioned that Olynyk and Bam would have some big minutes together, and they played, and Olynyk just couldn't capitalize on those shots. Bam was getting
a lot of good shots, a lot of good wide open shots, and he couldn't hit them.
Bam was getting Kemba on him in the post, and they would double team him. He'd kick out to Olynyk, and Olynyk just couldn't hit. So it was just the parts where that they would usually look to capitalize on those plays, they just weren't. I don't know what happened with Iguodala. I think that just was something with his injury again, why he didn't play in that second half like that. But it's just a lot of stuff with that bench is just kind of. And then the Kendrick Nunn thing, they put him in for a short spurt, which didn't make any sense. So,
oh my god, yeah.
Kemba was a team leading +4. Kemba was a team leading +4. So single game plus or minus doesn't tell you a lot. We know that, but he's been useless, absolutely useless. Derek Jones Jr. tonight came in, didn't give you much. Play some defense. Kelly Olynyk played some defense. Kelly Olynyk played terribly, right? So outside of Tyler Herro, you got 6 bench points tonight when the bench is supposed to be your strength. Okay, you missed 32 3-pointers tonight.
Yeah, you just don't win those games. You just don't win those games.
The fact that they even made it a game at the end is amazing. So, call out the refs all you want. Blame this, blame that. But the fact they missed 32 3-pointers and a lot of them being wide open. Jay Crowder, though a lot of the threes he missed weren't contested. He just missed wide open threes. And then defensively, 117 points of regulation. These guys did not show up defensively tonight.
And
let's call a spade a spade.
I think a lot of their threes, not even only Jay Crowder, was a lot of open threes. They weren't even just like totally just being blanketed like you would think with that percentage. So that's just. And then what you were going to say about Jimmy Butler before, I think that is a big part. He needs to initiate offense. I continually say that. I said that in the last post-game stream that it's going to catch up to him. He cannot continue to just not be a factor in the first 3 quarters and then show up in the fourth. And that happened in those first 2 games, but that's just not going to continue to happen in a Eastern Conference Finals. And that was which pretty much showed today that he just wasn't. Even when he would try to attack and do what he does and try to draw fouls, obviously he wasn't getting the calls that he usually does. But he's going to have to adjust somehow and try to initiate and try to find the mid range and use the floater that he continually uses. He kind of found that at the end of that fourth quarter, but. It's like, where is that the other 3 quarters,
But it's like I'm saying, you're playing with fire constantly, right? Like you like we're all watching and they're down 15 and we're like, okay, they can come back. They're down 17, okay, they can come back. And then when you get down 20, so now you make a run to cut it to 5. It's too much to overcome at some point. Like these guys got to get it together way earlier. And by the way, we are sponsored in this post-game show by Simple Health Advisors. Check out simplehealthadvisors.com. Take care of all your medical insurance, Medicare, life insurance. If you've lost insurance due to COVID-19, you've lost your job, check out Simple Health Advisors. You're an independent contractor. You own your own business. Your insurance isn't provided by your employer. Check out Simple Health Advisors. You're going to find the best insurance solution for you. All right, so let's get back. I honestly don't even want to go this long on this post game because there's just not a lot to talk about, really. Like, we touched on the fact that Dragic didn't show up. We touched on the fact that Kendrick Nunn is still unplayable. We touched on the fact that Jimmy turned it on way too late. Duncan Robinson didn't become a factor until the fourth quarter. We've talked about the refs. Like, what else is there really to talk about? I don't think Gordon Hayward was the difference tonight. Like, I was in the group chat tonight, and they were like, oh, Gordon Hayward was the difference. Gordon Hayward was not the difference. Gordon Hayward was like a +6 entering the fourth quarter. He had 4 points. Like, he was not the difference. The difference was the defensive intensity, and the difference was guys just did not show up tonight like they've been showing up all postseason.
I think when you talk about intensity, just that's on the offensive side too. You could kind of tell that other than Tyler and Bam, none of the guys had that in them. The spacing on offense was very off, especially with that
way off.
Especially with the second unit that usually plays well together with Goran, Tyler, Andre, Derek Jones, and Olynyk. They always play that very quality minutes together, and even their spacing was really off. It was an odd game. The only positives game that we haven't talked about is Tyler Herro. He continually shows that he's that guy that he can go through stretches like that to bring you back. But it's just you can't be in an Eastern Conference Finals looking to a 20-year-old rookie. That's just not gonna work. He's gonna get you that nice second quarter stretch, but that's about it. You can't look at him as the guy looking to close out a game to win you go up 3-0 in a series. That's just you got to go to your stars. Stars when you playoff games. What I continue to say, and Jimmy Butler's got to kind of be that guy and take over the reins a little bit of the offense.
And Bam played like a star, but Goran and Jimmy did not. And 32 missed 3-pointers, and there's your game. So
another problem on defense that I saw though is that Tatum continually tries to get Herro and Duncan on him. That's where he thrives. That's what mostly Eddie stars kind of try to do. But that's where Tatum just really kind of shined today. Was he was getting the switches and that he liked, and even other guys like Smart were getting Duncan taking
Smart was
yeah. So they just continually attack these guys. I think Herro gets better and better on defense, but ultimately he can't guard Jason Tatum one-on-one. So they're going to have to figure out some things, but ultimately Duncan Robinson's going to have to. I think this is going to be the big off season for Duncan to kind of even try to improve his defense, because as great of a shooter as he is, it's hard to think of him playing huge minutes down the stretch when you're just an absolute target on the defensive side.
I actually think Duncan played decently defensively. Like, I don't think he was a complete liability. Like,
I think he was better than he usually is. I honestly do. But
Jimmy was worse than he normally is. Like, Jimmy wasn't a good defender tonight.
He just wasn't even active. I don't think he wasn't even like trying. There was so many times when he would usually double team in that zone or anything, and he was just letting them take Duncan to the paint. Like, I know that's a good point. I don't think that's totally on Duncan. I think that's just team defense.
He was bad. Jimmy was bad offensively and defensively tonight. I guess the last thing I want to talk about, and I think what we'll do for let's go 20 minutes tonight. I don't think a lot of people give a shit. There's a lot of comments. I want to talk about this rest. The fact that the Heat they don't play again until Wednesday. And I think a lot of people thought that this was a big advantage for the Celtics. And Christian Hernandez is one of the only people who said that, guys, this layoff helps the Heat more than it helps the Celtics. And I didn't understand that at first, but watching tonight, it absolutely is a real thing. Iguodala can't play, right? He can't play in the fourth. He's hurt. And if you watch him, and people think they're benching Iggy because of poor play, they're benching Iggy because if you look at him on the bench, he's laying down on his back or on his stomach half the side because he's in pain. Dragic, his legs were gone tonight. Like, 4 days off for Dragic sounds like a really good idea. The Heat didn't practice yesterday. There's a reason they didn't practice. They didn't practice because their coach probably saw that they were gassed. Jimmy looked gassed. Bam didn't look gassed, but Bam looked gassed in the first quarter of the last game, and we've never seen Bam look like that. These guys are tired, and I think that this 4-day layoff is actually going to benefit them. Manny, I mean, on your end, what do you see? Like, I mean, do you think this benefits Gordon Hayward getting back into shape? Because, I mean, he's had 5 weeks. Or does it benefit Goran Dragic, Andre Iguodala, and Jimmy Butler?
I think it mostly benefits Coach Spo because now he has this to now harp on them for the next 4 days without question. The thing that really bugged me tonight was it felt like it was more like effort. I can see where the Celtics were kind of carving the Heat in that zone defense. But even ESPN, which to me now ESPN, it feels like it's the home for Boston Celtics basketball now because Jesus Christ, all they kept talking about great was Boston this, Boston that. And it wasn't even Tatum tonight. It was Williams. It was I don't know what I was watching on this damn network. But
there was a lot of Williams talk.
It's a lot of Williams talk, and I'm like, okay, this is great. And then they kept putting him wired up, and it's like, no, that's not what fans want to hear.
Honestly, I thought Williams was was on an all NBA team after this broadcast.
Facts. No,
I went back and looked. I'm like, did I miss that? Did he make it over Siakam?
For real. No, but I truly feel that now Spo has something to work on. Besides this, this is what their second loss in the whole postseason. First loss, you can kind of say, listen, it was without Giannis, and you can kind of have to adjust to all those shooters and those kind of small lineups. But now you have something on tape for the next couple of days in which you can look at it, break it down, and try to see what the adjustments are. And this is more than enough time. If anyone is hurt, because I truly felt that Jimmy Butler had to come out at halftime and be aggressive, which he was. Fortunately, he didn't get the call. I think he went 3 times in one possession.
3 times to the rim and no call. And
absolutely nothing. And then here comes Mr. Jaylen Brown down the court, and then he gets a bump, and there goes another foul.
No, and Marcus Smart flopping all day long and getting calls. It was very, very frustrating.
Just one more thing, Brady. It just felt like no matter what Miami did in this game, something was going to happen, whether the refs were going to give them the calls, but it's not the refs' fault that the effort wasn't there. Yep. Right before halftime, you're down 3. Jay Crowder shoots a 3 trying to tie the game. Doesn't go well. Then the Celtics score 7, 9 straight points where bad Heat offense, laziness on defense. You know what I'm saying? Was Tatum did Tatum shove Crowder for the dunk? Yes, he did. But at the same time, you can't let that affect you. You're still in this game. And then it just felt like after that, everything just broken down like right before halftime.
Yeah, and you asked about the layoff, like kind of impacting the Heat. I think it not only impacts them like physically with the injuries, but I think it's just going to be a mental reset. After this game,
for sure.
They're going to need Jimmy and all these guys are going to need to mentally reset to kind of just get back focused. I think this is going to be a big time. You mentioned Spo. I think this is going to be a game for Spo. He's going to need to get his team mentally ready. And I think if you're asking any team to do that, and this is going to be this Heat team to get mentally ready in 3 days for Game 4. So I think this Game 4 is as much as you want to harp on this Game 3. I think if you're looking ahead at this Game 4, I think it's in Miami's favor if you look at it that way.
Brady, they're pissed. They're pissed.
He looks pissed. Just one question, Brady. You saw how Boston attacked the zone. Now, I would say it was much more creative adjustments that I saw when, Smart will catch the ball in the midpoint of it, and then he'll back out of it. Then all of a sudden you see all that slashing happening right behind them. But it felt like as well that the Heat's defense, when it came to the zone, it was very slow. It was a half a second late. Do you think the Heat, though, should be still going to that, or will there be adjustments, do you believe, in the next game, especially with now having seen this on tape and you had that extra day?
I think you look at every time the zone defense works, it's always kind of a thing that you kind of throw out there in a few possessions to get just people just throw it out there to catch them off guard. But now that you have a team with Brad Stevens preparing for going against the zone defense, and it's not like a hard defense to figure out, you just literally send a guy to the middle and then just work from there. And that's something they didn't do in those Game 2 especially. They didn't do that. They just had no idea how to kind of figure that out. And then Game 3 today, they showed that it's pretty easy to figure out. And I think Spo has to kind of take a game and mostly go man and then kind of throw it out there a few possessions because it constantly works. But I think they were kind of ready for it today, and that's the kind of the big problem with that.
What I saw against the zone is that the Celtics made quick decisions this time, whereas in the past they were not. I mean, in the first 2 games, they were second guessing themselves over and over and over and again. And even with all that, and the Heat missing 32 threes, and like with everything going on, Jimmy and Goran playing like trash, the Heat had a chance to win this game. So I don't think it's panic time. I think 4 days off rest is going to be good for them. Manny, do you want to go to the press conferences, or do you want to take some questions from the chat?
I say that Spo just left, and now they're showing Gordon Hayward. So I don't want to see. I don't want to go nowhere near Gordon Hayward.
I don't want to see that pedophile in his mustache. Listen, all right, that mustache, with that mustache, he wouldn't be allowed to be around Brady because Brady's under 18. Like that,
bro. Give me Brady Hawk 7 days out of the week. There's no way I'm ever taking Gordon Hayward on my basketball team.
That shit is gross. All right, let's start to. Okay, so all right, everybody watching right now, we got a lot of people watching. Thank you for tuning in. It's a Saturday night. Thank God. If it wasn't for COVID, you guys would probably be doing something fun. Go ahead, hit us with some questions. We'll take questions for like the next 5 minutes and wrap it up. Okay, why did Spo not get Duncan going? And this is actually something that I saw. And when you see that Duncan isn't going, it's because the Heat are not moving on offense. And there were way too many times, and Brady, you probably saw this too, where the Heat were stagnant, standing around. It was not the Heat offense. It's like they were just tired and didn't want to make the effort. Brady, Duncan offense, movement, what happened tonight?
I think a big part of Duncan's game that doesn't get talked about is just Jay Crowder. He kind of opens it up because once he gets going and becomes an issue hitting shots, that opens up the game for him. And that wasn't the case today. We kind of talked about him kind of being the odd man out, to being the guy that's going to be left open to take those shots, much like Marcus Smart for Miami. And he wasn't hitting, so that impacted Duncan Robinson a lot. If he's hitting and they're going out at him and it's just a pick and roll, nothing else. So for Duncan to dribble handoff, he's going to hit it, and he's going to pass a low to Bam, and it's going to be what they did all regular season. But when it's a Jay Crowder game like this, I think it impacts him a lot more. I think he continually utilized in those bubble games early on in the regular season bubble games is he slowly kind of used his dribbling, on-ball dribbling to attack the rim, like a couple plays, which got him some open threes later on because teams were kind of watching him kind of on the drive. And I don't think he's even drove to the basket one time in this whole playoffs.
Yeah, I haven't seen him.
So I think that's just like it's kind of weird how he has an ability to use something and kind of open him up, and that's just not the case.
So then the next question was about giving DJJ more burn. Here's the thing, and this is from my point of view.
Mm-hmm.
Andre Iguodala is not healthy. Kendrick Nunn is giving you not even nothing. He's a net negative every time he touches the floor.
Yeah, he's doing stupid plays like doing N1s when
who
touched him, man.
Listen, all right.
That's another momentum thing that people don't see. Listen, I am not a pro baller, neither is nobody here, but that's a huge momentum shift. And you give a guy an extra basket, an extra point. That's ridiculous, man. Please go and sit on the bench and don't ever come back. Please.
There's some point I lose it on every post-game show. I'm about to fucking lose it on Kendrick Nunn. What in God's name did this motherfucker think he was going to do on a Jaylen Brown breakaway fucking dunk? Like,
it was Tatum.
Was it Tatum?
Yeah,
who gives a big motherfucking Celtic is 5 feet in front of you about to dunk the ball. What the fuck are you doing, Kendrick? You're 5'11". Like, you had no shot. Like, honestly, it's stupid fucking bad IQ plays like that keep him on the fucking bench. Like, honestly, I
got off heated now.
I like Kendrick Nunn. I want him to succeed. I met him at media day. Just a nice guy, and I really want him to fucking do good. Like, I really want him to succeed. But that, like, next year, bro, take the fucking off. It's not even the summer. Take the fall. Whatever, go trick-or-treating and figure your shit the fuck out. Like, I don't know what you're doing. Wide open mid-range jumpers that he used to hit automatically. Brick. Just a complete net negative. Like, that motherfucker has probably scored 8 points since the bubble opened. Like, I want someone to look it up, but I doubt it's over 20 points since the bubble. Since the bubble. Like, he has been complete trash, and then to make a play like that when your team is fighting and clawing and your coach gave you a shot. So, yes, DJJ is going to get that burn, especially if Iguodala is still hurt. That's why the layoff is really important. Give me another question, because I don't want to fucking answer no more fucking questions about Kendrick goddamn Nunn. I've been fighting with Christopher Maddox from Light Skin Opinions about this shit all night. Christopher Maddox, like, why are you so hard on Kendrick Nunn? I'm not hard on Kendrick Nunn. The fucking basketball is hard on Kendrick Nunn. Like, the NBA playoffs, the bubble, like, dribbling, everything is hard on Kendrick Nunn. It's not me. I'm not doing it to this motherfucker. He is not playing well. Like, it's not my fault. But anyway, all right, give me another question. I can't do this shit anymore.
Just 1 second. We got blood pressure's up. Yeah. Oh, here we go.
My liver's failing me. Fuck.
I mean,
that question the fuck off my get it off my screen.
Listen, I just wanted to bring that up because that upset me so much more than anything else. It's just a stupid plays. Like, you want effort. I get it. Not every three is going to be nailed or hit, but it's just a stupid calls, and not even stupid calls. Just a stupid basketball play. There was no need for that.
Get the Solomon Hill question off the screen, please. I can't do it. I can't do it tonight.
All right, here we go. Here's another one here. Does Jimmy's team mentality during the first 3 quarters ultimately hurt the team?
Okay, Brady, I'm gonna just say one thing before I'm gonna let you go. The Miami Heat are 10-2 in the NBA playoffs. Okay. Yeah. That Jimmy's mentality has got them to the Eastern Conference Finals when we didn't think they were going to make it past the second round. A second round appearance was the ceiling for a lot of us when the season started. So, Robert, I'm not trying to diss you or whatever. I'm just trying to say, like, let's pump the brakes a little bit after a loss. That Jimmy's mentality is hurting the team because they're 10-2 right now. But Brady, I'm gonna let you go.
Yeah, I think there's a difference in saying his team mentality hurts the team and just saying that he needs to step up at certain points in the first half in tough stretches. I think that's just it. He needs to, especially when Goran's not going like today, he has to be the guy that goes and gets the ball and attacks and does everything else. So that's kind of the thing of he's going to continually have the team mentality because that's, like you said, they're 10-2 in this playoff run. They're going to continually go to what's working. But ultimately, after today, we'll kind of see how his mentality comes back, being up only 2-1 after that performance. If he's going to continue that team mentality, or if he's going to step up in that first half, I think that's going to be a clear indication in that game 4.
Okay, give me another question. That was a good question though, because I saw a lot of that on the timeline today about Jimmy not being aggressive, man. And I think Brady hit the nail on the head. Jimmy needs to pick his spots. And I think he's very concerned about getting his guys involved all game, especially through the first 3 quarters. But when Goran Dragic is not out there giving you what I like to call relief points, somebody has to do it. And Jimmy Butler needed to step up in that time, and he didn't. So that was a huge issue. Manny, give me one more question, and then we're going to sign off for the night, and everyone's going to go enjoy their Saturday nights in quarantine. Do you think Spo should give Myers a try even in this rotation based off how Kelly Olynyk is playing? Wow. When you look at the points in the paint tonight, Myers Leonard is not a rim protector, but what he is, and he has been all season long, and I'm not even discounting Bam, he has been the Miami Heat's best defensive rebounder. He ends if he doesn't, just because he doesn't stop penetration, he ends possessions with defensive rebounds. He's their best boxer outer. I don't know what to call that. But he's their best defensive rebounder, and I don't know if he would help this series. But what Kelly brought you, he couldn't have been worse than Kelly tonight. I think I don't know. I think Boston goes too small and they're too quick. And I think I think Myers is just, his feet are stuck in cement. He has never gained his win back from the injury, and he's not fast right now. He's not moving well. I don't know if he helps.
And I think the only way you play Myers, I think you could play him like in a 3 or 4 minute stretch with Daniel Tice out there. I think that's the kind of a thing. And he's a spark offensively if he gets going shooting wise, which he hasn't in the bubble so far. But I think that's just kind of a thing of repetition. Without getting playing time, you're obviously not just going to walk out there and hit shots. But if you're in need of a spark, and Kelly Olynyk is not that guy right now and not hitting shots, I think there's a chance that you go with that, just kind of trying to find something. And obviously, if it doesn't work, then you know that you go back to Kelly Olynyk. But I don't think there's any problem with Spo testing that, because he continually tests like stuff like that. He said in his press conferences in the past that Myers Leonard is not it's not over for Myers Leonard on this team. He's going to find a spot eventually. There might be a spot eventually, and this could possibly be the spot that if Kelly Olynyk's not playing good in game 4, that he inserts him for a 4 minute stretch and tries to see if he can get his shooting going. But if he's not, he just really isn't quick enough, I think, for these guys, because that's just the key, because he wasn't quick for a lot of centers throughout the season. That was kind of a problem. And going against these guys, that's going to be an issue. But the paint points tonight, that was a huge problem.
Listen, guys, that right there to me, especially at halftime. But then you look at the way the Celtics attacked from the minute they got the basketball. Like in the first seconds, it was attack. And I kind of feel like I want the Heat to do the same thing. But is it their game? No, it's not. We understand they want to shoot the 3. But I feel like sometimes you just got to be a little bit out of character per se, but still be effective. And I truly feel that you got to put pressure on the refs from the get-go. You can't just decide when you're down 12, well, now I'm going to drive the basketball because the other team's been doing it for over 24 minutes and they've been getting calls. I just feel like that has to be the mentality from the get-go.
Well,
Yeah,
I think that
Alf, how many free throws did they? If you had the thing in front, how many free throws did Miami have tonight?
Let me go.
Miami. Hold on, let me see. Miami free throws. Miami had 34 free throws as a team.
That was interesting.
They were 28 for 34. They got to the line.
That's what I was going to say, because they were getting there, which is interesting because usually when they're doing that and getting guys in foul trouble, that's usually when that's usually games when they're leading the way the whole time, which is interesting because, like I said before, they're averaging the most free throw attempts in with the teams left throughout the playoffs, and that's just kind of crazy to me that you still can't find a bit of a role even getting in the bonus in those situations.
There's a couple of people that have said when Cantor comes in, Myers would be a good substitution at that point, and I agree. Myers quick enough for Cantor minutes, yes, I agree, but that's just tough to do, to just be like, hey, Myers, for the 8 minutes that Cantor plays, get ready. Like, it's a hard thing to do to a player. Like, it's just not. Sometimes stuff like that is just not feasible. And Kelly gets beat up by Cantor. One thing I would like to see to help with the interior defense is put Crowder onto Tice to start the game, and switch Bam onto Brown, and then move Butler to Tatum. Like, move that around, where what they're doing is they're putting Tice at the 3-point line, getting Bam out of the paint, and then attacking while Bam is so far out of the paint he has no chance to contest. So what I would like to see is put Brown on Tice. Like, Tice is not an offensive threat. Like, and I know the Heat are not trying to get Bam into foul trouble, but they have to start getting off to better starts. And I think Bam on Tatum or Brown to open the game is actually a really, really good idea. And I would like to see them try it. I don't know if they will, but because Boston has obviously figured out the way to get Bam out of the paint and to attack the rim is to put Tice at the 3-point line.
And that's interesting anyways, because even if Tice tries to bang with Crowder, he's the type of guy that he could probably win that matchup easily, because he did that against Giannis. He's done that against a bunch of matchups that I think I've said it over and over that I think Crowder is a better defender when he's physically guarding somebody in the post or different things. That's why he had such an advantage over guarding Giannis. So I think that could be, and Bam's obviously better on the perimeter. I just think the only problem would be you don't want to risk getting Bam in foul trouble early. The
foul trouble is an issue, but Crowder is strong enough to bang with Tice. I'm not worried about that. Tice isn't a good low post player, right? And if he's what you saw them do against the 76ers, Embiid just didn't even guard Tice. And so Tice shot a lot of 3-pointers. I don't know. I think he was like 28% or something in that series. But it was enough to hurt the Sixers. You put Jay Crowder on him, he's not going to shoot threes on Jay Crowder. And he can't, and Jay Crowder can bang with him down low. I would like to see that switch. I don't know if it's that type of panic time yet. Wednesday is going to be really fucking interesting, guys. Super interesting to see if Dragic gets his bounce. Like, listen, a real Dragic game tonight, a good Butler game tonight, quality Iggy minutes, and this series is 3-0, right? So there's no I don't think it's a panic time. Tonight was frustrating. Tonight pissed us off as Heat fans, but I don't think it's panic time just yet. I really don't. I didn't see the Celtics do a lot. Like, people were like, the Gordon Hayward thing. I was like, get that trash ass take out my face. Like, Gordon Hayward did not. Oh, they didn't have to play Ojale. Who cares? Like, who cares? The Miami Heat still had a chance to win this game, and they played like trash. So I think the Heat are fine. Heat in 5 doesn't happen without one Celtics win, right? Heat in 6, I call it Heat in 6, doesn't happen without 2 Celtics wins. The Celtics are going to win some games. This is not going to be a short series. I never thought it was going to be. There's no need for panic, but I do think there's some things to clean up. And now you've given Eric Spoelstra 4 days to play chess with Brad Stevens. And I think Spoelstra's going to win that matchup. All right, guys. Last thing I want to read, panic time. Start Gabe and KZ. I love it. Ben's fucking around with that one. That's a good comment. All right. Thank you again to Simple Health Advisors. Check out simplehealthadvisors.com. Whether you're an independent contractor, you own your own business, you've lost your job due to COVID, and you need help with dental, health, vision, if you need Medicare coverage, life insurance, if you have a job and you're just worried about your future and leaving something for your kids and you need life insurance, check out Simple Health Advisors. They will get you the best deal possible. That's what they're there for. They're there to help you get the best insurance, the best deal possible. They're on your side, not like the insurance companies. They're going to help you out. So check out simplehealthadvisors.com. Thank you for sponsoring this. And we will see you guys again Wednesday night. I might be late for that one. I need to get a haircut. Like, I don't know if you guys have noticed. I got an Andre Iguodala thing going on right now. Not as bad.
Like, just one thing before we go. Heat fans just need to realize that this is still a 7-game series. This is not just, win 3 and you move on. We knew what was ahead of us. We knew the so much success that we've had. You're still up 2-1 in the series, and you have one of the best coaching staffs preparing for the next game in which you can be up 3-1, and they got 4 days.
Chess, not checkers. Yeah. Chess, not checkers, bro.
And this is not, so difficult to understand, but certain Heat fans are going to use this as that's it, it's over, and that's kind of stupid.
And I mentioned in my Spo piece that he kind of made those adjustments last game. And I think there's a couple more adjustments that he has in his back pocket that we don't know about yet. I think we're going to find out pretty soon what those are, but that wasn't the last of Spo's adjustments that he's going to make. He has some other things that he can use against this Boston team, and I think we're going to find out pretty soon what that's going to be.
Wednesday night is going to be super interesting. I'm calling it now. I predict a Heat blowout on Wednesday. I think they're going to run these Celtics right off the court because they're pissed off right now.
I think that's the intensity that you need. I think this loss infuriates the team to bring the intensity that we were looking for today. I think that's just the thing. If Jimmy, I think it all revolves around Jimmy Butler too. If he brings the intensity, then this whole team, it spreads around the team. It's contagious, and if Butler has it, the whole team has it.
No one's throwing anything around the locker room tonight, but there's a seething anger that's going to that's going to simmer for 4 days, and Spo is going to get in these guys' faces over the next 4 days. It's not going to be pretty. There's going to be some hard practices, and they're going to come out on Wednesday. And honestly, I think you're going to see 17, 18 Andre Iguodala minutes. You're going to see much more. Like, you didn't even see Dragic in the fourth quarter. This game, guys, like, there's not a lot. Like, don't go crazy over this game. Dragic is in the closing lineup every game, and he barely played in the fourth. Tonight, these guys were tired. They were exhausted. It's not an excuse. The Celtics beat your ass. Now let's come back and let's see what happens. I'm still saying Heat in 6, but I think Wednesday night's going to be a blowout in favor of the Heat. All right, guys, signing off. This is way past Brady's bedtime. His mom calling me. But
just one quick thing for Brady. For everyone that watches 5 Reasons Sports, this young man here writes pieces before games, during games, after games, even on the
games, columns, opinion.
Does everything you'd want. If this young man doesn't show you his type of dedication to what he's doing, then you're missing out on it. Please follow him on Twitter. Read his articles. Read his stuff. I mean, I'm sleeping at 5 a.m. and I already know at 6 there's a new 5-piece set by Brady Hawk already about game 4. That's how much I know this man works hard. So please give him a shout out. Follow him on Twitter. He's worth it. Trust me.
Alejandro just said Brady is our Tyler Herro.
Yeah, he never fails.
The best rookie in the history of 5 Reasons Sports. All right, guys. It's funny. After a Heat loss, I can't get anyone to come on with me except for you two. After Heat win, there's 14 people on this motherfucker. Hey, there goes Alejandro.
Right here, baby.
After a Heat win, I got like fucking 18 people on this motherfucker. I'm trying to navigate. All right, guys. Let's go, Brady. All right, guys. See you guys Wednesday night. There will be pods dropping Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll have a pod every day this week. So check us out. Podbean. What else? Spotify, Apple.
Oh, we're also now on Amazon.
We're on Amazon Music.
Amazon Music now. Yes,
also, check out Light Skin Opinions. We're on YouTube now. We were on YouTube for about 3 minutes before we got 2 thumbs down already, which was pretty. I think that's a record. Like we wouldn't even listen to the show. They just give us a thumbs down because like black people talking, thumbs down. So check us out. Check out Light Skin Opinions. The last episode is one of the funniest fucking things you'll ever hear in your life. I was proven to be a coward. So anyway, I've been saying goodbye for like 5 minutes. All right, bye. Thank you everyone for listening. We'll see you next time.
So I'm gonna stay on to see if maybe Alejandro wants to do some post game, because we were actually supposed to do this for the first 2 games, and he seems to be here just like the only one here.
So you're watching our live practice right now.
There we go.
Let's see who's talking right now. See if we can. I mean, it's Tatum talking. We're just gonna practice here to see how it works.
Chris Ryan. But Jason, do you see Game 3 as a potential defining moment for this group in that you're facing some adversity coming into this, both on and off the court, and you play so connected, so focused, and with such force as a group in getting this win?
Yeah, I mean, 2 choices. We could have came in here and laid down. We could have played like we was fighting for our lives. It wasn't perfect. It's never going to be perfect. But, just playing connected, playing together.
It's for you, Manny.
With the purpose, like we did tonight.
Yes, we do. Unfortunately, there were too many of them. But yes, we always do. If you guys have any extra questions, you can always tweet us at 5 on the floor 5, and make sure you tag Alf and whatnot. We'll make sure to answer those for you.
You guys have seen.
So you see, it works. If we do this, it works.
Momentum.
Too bad it's Tatum talking, not nobody from the Heat right now.
No.
Does that help when you're
It's fine. We'll do it on Wednesday.
We will definitely do this on Wednesday after a Heat win, up 3-1. Totally different.
Yes.
Yeah,
So you guys just watch our live practice of how we're gonna do things.
We put ourselves in that position.
So guys, so remember after the game on Wednesday night, as soon as the show's over, stay with us. We're definitely gonna have Zoom calls and whatnot on this stream, the same stream you guys are watching post game. We're gonna hear from everybody, whoever comes on from the Heat. Obviously, no Boston, unfortunately, right now that's what's playing. But yeah, so please make sure you stay locked in with us as soon as the show is over.
Jason, I know you said the other night, what happens in the locker room stays in the locker room.
What?
What can you tell us about the last 48 hours and what has that meant to
I'm ready to go to bed, man. Look at his face, bro.
It's 12 o'clock already. Let me go to bed. Yes.
Playing a team game. We're not supposed to be happy if we down.
Yes, I know you shoved on Crowder. Yes, that should have been a foul. Yes.
You are, then you don't care. We care about this. Basketball is a game of emotion. So you want guys to be frustrated, to be upset, to care.
This Heat question: which Heat players should be used off the bench? Well, definitely not none.
So,
all right, that's definitely one guy that unfortunately you can't miss a short jumper and then foul a guy like Tatum during the dunk. Right? He shouldn't even look. He shouldn't be anymore on the floor.
He should be just waiting for the ball to fall, and then let's go and start again.
Like, listen, go and practice with your teammates and make them better. How about that? That's probably the only thing we need to do. So,
final question for Jason.
Final question. All right, let's see somebody from the Heat is coming. Let's see.
Jason, Marcus spent some more time on Dragic tonight, who seemed to really give you guys problems in the first couple games. Stuck to the impact he had for you guys in that matchup. And trying to keep him under control.
He doesn't know the answer. Next.
Night out. One of the best, if not the best defender in the league.
Best defender in the league.
Secret, you You know it. He's consistent.
All right, thank you. Bye.
You know
I don't even understand what he's saying.
All right, we'll wrap it up right there. Thanks,
Thank
Jason.
you.
Thank God.
There we go. Now we go.
All right, Jimmy, tell us, buddy. Tell us what Heat Nation wants to hear.
Hey Jimmy, tell me about, you guys were able to close up the lead towards the end. Tell me about the no quit attitude that this team has.
I agree.
And we've never given up, but I think it gets old playing from behind consistently, especially against a great team like Boston and what they bring to the table. So, yeah, we don't quit, but we don't ever want to, well, I wouldn't say ever, but we should start putting ourselves in a position and start playing our type of basketball from the jump.
Rachel Nichols.
Sum up sort of one idea of why you guys lost this game. What would you say?
We didn't play hard enough. I think we didn't do anything that we said that we were going to do. We knew how they were going to attack us. We weren't helping each other. We weren't making an extra pass a lot of the times. We weren't playing basketball the way that we have been to win the games that we have been winning. We understand that. So, you know, there's nothing that coach can say. There's nothing that OG can say. We get it. And we have to be the ones to fix that.
Cooper Moorhead.
Should be 60 points in the paint for them. I know you guys are going to look down and break down the film, but where were the breakdowns defensively that had them get into the rim so often?
We just got to stay in front of our man. Simple as that. I think we put too much on Bam to always be there. He can't save us every single time. He's great at help defense. He's great on the ball. But he already does enough for us. You can't just get beat and expect for Bam to come and save you every time.
David from La Gazzetta dello Sport, Italy.
Hey, Jimmy, you mentioned Bam. What did you see from him tonight?
He did everything he could to try to will us to this win all game long, passing the ball, guarding, obviously scoring and rebounding the basketball. We continually need him to play like that, which he will. And we'll bounce back.
Mateo Mayorga. Oh, sorry. Hold on. Mateo, go ahead.
Hi, Jimmy. How important has the counsel of team captain Udonis Haslem been throughout this playoff run, and what advice did he give the guys in the locker room after the loss, sir?
That this is part of basketball. You know, we want to win them all. Sometimes you don't. But all in all, we just had to play harder, play more together, and be more locked in. I'm not going to say that we thought that this was going to be easy because it's not the case, but we got to put up a lot more fight from the jump. Be the nastier team, be the more scrappier team. That's what he said at halftime. That's what he said before the game and after the game. So hopefully we understand that coming in the next time we play.
Anthony Chang.
Hey, Jimmy, 21 assists for you guys. And I think a little low just with the way you guys played. Offensively, did you like the way the looks you guys got? And 12-44 on threes.
I always like the looks that we have. Like I said earlier, I don't think we've made the extra pass a lot of the time. And that's not because anybody on our team is selfish. That's definitely not the case. I just think sometimes we take it upon ourselves to try to get us back in the games. I'm never complaining about anybody's shots. But on the defensive end, I think that's when we definitely didn't help each other. So got to be better on that part.
And last question, Tab Deportes from Puerto Rico.
Hi, Jimmy. How do you feel to be a leader for this young team in a conference finals and the way the team is playing right now?
I think we're playing well. I think we can play better. I love going to war with these guys, though. I say it time and time again. Now we really see what we're made of. They won a game. You can say that they have the momentum. Now it's up to us to come in and win the next one. We're definitely capable of it. We got a lot to fix. We got to get back to playing basketball the way we know how.
Jimmy, thanks for your time, sir. Have a nice evening.
Yes, you guys seem to find ways to keep yourself either out or almost out of trouble, but another big deficit tonight. How frustrating is it that this is becoming a trend?
We got to start the game how we start before. I feel like we're not the type of team where we can go through the motions and try to figure out everything in the first half, and then in the third and fourth, we just try to turn it on. It's not like that. We're not that type of team, and we gotta play with detail. I feel like we got disrupted in the offense a little bit. They got us on our heels, but they was out there hooping and having fun. I feel like that was a big difference in the game. They jumped out on us, and I guess they got tired of us being down 12-13 and coming back and winning. So we just got to do a better job of not letting ourselves get in a big deficit.
Anthony Chang.
Hey, man, you guys have been pretty good defensively all postseason long. What was the issue in your eyes on that end of the court, especially just in the paint, with them scoring 60 paint points?
Lacking communication. I said it before the series started. This is a series where you got to guard your yard, and 60 points in the paint is not guarding our yard. So, we get back in the gym and figure this out.
Did you feel like they had a better plan against the team's zone defense, or was it more you guys when it comes to that?
Nah, I feel like we just. I feel like we weren't in the first half, and then the second half we just wanted to turn it on, including me. I got to do a better job of starting the first half way more aggressive than I have. It's just for some reason second half I get into this mode, and that's got to be my mode for 48 minutes.
Ira Winderman.
Man, with Gordon Hayward back, we saw a little bit more of the smaller lineups. Is that something now that you guys will have to adjust to a degree? And obviously, if they're going to go small with Tice out there, another backup center, is that mean sort of more of these type of games from you to take advantage of their smaller lineups? Thank you.
I feel like we just got to execute. We can't worry about their schemes. We got to execute our plays, and they're gonna throw different things at us. Gordon Hayward came in, gave him big minutes, but we got to focus on us and execute our plays.
Ellie Adams, CTV.
Hey, Bam, you guys were able to make a good run at the end. What is that? Tell me about that no quit attitude that this team has.
We got grit. We don't stop playing until the buzzer hits zero, and that's our mindset. But we can't keep getting in these deficits and expecting in the fourth for us to turn it on and keep getting stops. And we come back from a 17-point lead and try to figure it out. We got to be desperate from the time the ball gets tipped up to the time that buzzer goes off in the fourth.
And then with these days coming up leading into the next game, you guys have a little bit more of a break. What do you think you guys are going to do to prepare for the next game?
Honestly, we just got to play harder in the first half. That's bottom line. I feel like it's my job for the first unit to get off to a great start. I put that on me. I felt like I was being too passive, and I got to be more aggressive.
All right, Bam. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
First question, Julio Nueves Lanza.
Hey, Goran. It seemed like the Celtics were playing a small ball for a few rotations. They looked faster than you guys in a couple plays. Plus, they scored more points in the paint. Was that a problem for you guys tonight?
If they score more points, of course, but I think so they just came out more aggressive than us. They were more physical, and that kind of changed the game. We need to be better, especially defensively. Too many points, easy points inside the paint, and that's the ball.
Thanks, Goran.
Next question, Ira Winderman.
Goran, they showed Coach Bo's pregame talk with you guys in the locker room, how you guys couldn't fall behind again and how to expect a completely different game from them. How disappointing is it to you to fall behind again and to constantly have to climb up mountains in this series?
We need to fix that and try to open the games better. not to dig the hole and then try to catch them. But we'll be fine. We didn't play the best game, and we were still there a little bit. So we just need to go look the tape and see what we did wrong. We already know that we play bad defense, so that's gonna.
And they put Marcus Smart on you for a while there. How does that change the complexion for you when he's the primary defender on you? Thank you.
They put the second game too, the whole game, so it's nothing.
Next question is Ariana Calderon, Heat TV.
Lauren, I know it's a tough loss, but talk about the mentality of this team at the end. You guys still were able to make another run and not give up. Talk about that no quit mentality for this team.
We showed that the whole season. We're not going to back off. We try to compete and try to get back into the game. And it doesn't matter if if you're down. You try to get better in every possession, and hopefully be better for next game.
I asked Tyler the same question he said about Game 4 coming up. You guys have a few days off. Talk about that game and how important it's going to be. Tyler pretty much said it was going to be a dogfight. How do you guys have to mentally prepare for that game?
It's going to be the same as tonight. If they're going to come aggressive, they're going to be physical. We need to match their physicality and play better defense. So, yeah, I agree with Tyler. It's going to be a dogfight, and we need to bring it.
Next question, Tab Deportes.
Hi, Gordon from Puerto Rico. The series has been a war tonight, and the team lost but fighting. What is for you the key learning from this game to improve in the next?
Definitely defense. And, we had a lot of turnovers. I had 5 turnovers, so that's, it's a big key. And like I said, we just need to run our offense a little bit more dynamic, cut more often, stronger, and try to move them.
Thank you.
All right, G, that's it. Thank you, buddy.
Thank you, Rob.
Take care.
All right, so that was Jimmy Butler, Bam Adebayo, and Goran Dragic right after tonight's loss against the Boston Celtics. What was the final score? Let me look for it real quick. I don't even remember the final score of this game. The thing is, we're going to come back on Wednesday with this type of things. Our pregame, of course, about an hour before the game. The final score was actually 117 to 106. It should have been that much of a difference. The Heat was losing by 5 right at the last minute. So thank you guys for being with us, not only tonight, but all these nights covering the Miami Heat in the playoffs. It's been a fun run for sure, and we're enjoying every minute of it. And we are glad that you guys are back here with us. So make sure you subscribe here in the channel. Make sure you follow us on Twitter. You can follow me right over here, right there. You can send me your messages, and thank you very much for being here with us, even in the in the losses that the Miami Heat have in these playoffs, which are not many so far. So 10-2, don't lose hope. This team's still up 2-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals against a team that they've dominated for most part of the season. So keep watching our coverage here in 5 Reasons. We'll be back on Monday with more Miami Heat content with the 5 on the Floor podcast for sure. So make sure you listen to it. We'll have it here in our YouTube channel. Thank you very much. Have a good night and enjoy the rest of your weekend. See you soon.